Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brianna Lenz and today is class number 2 of my beginner crochet series where we are going to learn how to hold yarn, how to hold your crochet hook, and how to chain. So for today's lesson, you're going to need some cotton yarn or regular yarn. You can use any yarn for this, worsted weight yarn, but going forward, in these lessons for learning the stitches, I'm going to be using cotton yarn, and I advise you do too because we're going to be making washcloths. And you need a H hook or size 5mm hook. This is just the aluminum hook that you can get at your local Hobby Lobby. You can get these at Walmart. Not your knowledge, you can get Boyer Susan Bates, but for learning, these aluminum hooks are great. And then I also have a stitch marker just in case you want to keep track of stitches or anything like that. So today I'm using I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. I like this. I think that it has good stitch definition. You can get it. It's really inexpensive. It's soft. It's not coarse on your hands if you have sensitive skin. Also, I think that it lasts well. Like it lasts a long time after you make certain things. So this is what I advise. Today I'm using a really simple gray, so that way it's easy for you to see what I'm doing. And again, this is your regular H hook, size 5mm. So if you see, this has the size on it. It's the H hook or number 8, 5mm. It's right here. And this is going to slide really easy through the yarn. And going forward, I'm just going to go ahead and slip the tag off and keep this nearby so that way I can keep track of what this is. And then to get started, you're going to need to make sure that your yarn is easily accessible. And so I prefer, instead of trying to find it from the center and pull from the center, I don't mind just unwinding my yarn like this. Just kind of taking how much I think I might need. Just like this. Also, I find that if I'm wearing any jewelry, it gets in my way. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this and just set it over to the side so I don't lose it. But yeah, I don't like crocheting with any jewelry on my hands because it can catch, the yarn can catch on it, and it gets in my way. All right, so I am right-handed, so this is how I'm going to be teaching how to crochet, is using my right hand. I don't know how to teach from the left-handed perspective, so I just wanted to put that out there. So this is from the right-handed perspective. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is put your crochet hook in your hand. There's multiple ways that you can hold your crochet hook. You can hold it this way. Some people hold it this way. I find it to be most comfortable to hold it right here where you have the flat spot on the hook, and you just kind of manipulate the yarn like this. But some people do find that they can hold it like this. Any way that feels comfortable in your hand after you start doing the stitches, that's perfectly fine. There is no crochet police that's going to tell you you're doing it the wrong way. You can just, whatever works for you, okay? But I do find that I can crochet for a long time, and this has minimal movement in my wrist that is not going to cause my wrist to hurt after a long time of crocheting. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a slip knot. I'm going to leave about a general rule of thumb is about 8 inches. So I'm going to leave about an 8-inch tail. You'll see that commonly in patterns, to leave an 8-inch tail, and you're going to do a slip knot. So what I'm going to do with my left hand is I'm going to wrap it around, cross, and pull through. I like to do it this way because later on you're going to do something called a magic ring, and if you go ahead and make your slip knot that way, it makes everything easier as you learn that trick later on. So again, so this is a slip knot. Let me do that again. I have the short tail in front of me, the working yarn. This is called the working yarn behind it. And I'm going to wrap it around my first 2 fingers, wrap it, cross it, pull it through, and I'm going to stick my hook right in there, okay? And then I just pull tight. You want it to where it'll still be able to move through your hook because you want to be able to get it off, but now you have a slip knot, okay? And this is your first chain. So now with the short tail to the right, my working yarn that is being worked to the left, okay? I'm going to get my tension. So this is how I loop my thread through my fingers to have tension with my working yarn. If you don't have any tension, you have no way of holding the yarn tight as you're working. This is how I learned, and I find it to be really helpful. This is another reason why I took off my ring, was because I have friction right here with the yarn in my ring. So you think about it the first few times that you do it, and then afterwards you just kind of do it without even thinking about it. And so I go under, over, and I just constantly have the yarn pulling through my fingers like this. And this is controlling the speed at which the working yarn is coming towards me from the ball of yarn. That doesn't make sense to you right now, but it will as you continue working, okay? So with my tail to the right and my working yarn to the left, like this, okay? I have it like this. I hold the tail with my right hand, and this gives me tension so I can do my chains. See why you need to have some tension already, is to be able to work through and chain. So that's chain 1. I'm going to show you, and then I'll explain what I'm doing so you can see what a chain is. Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the foundation of all of your work. Whether it be in a circle, whether it be in a straight line, this is the foundation of your work. And right now, for the next few weeks, and when we do our scarf at about week 5 or 6, this is the beginning of your work. This is a flat line. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out so I can show you how I did that. Do my slip knot in real time. Okay, working yarn to the left, tail to my right. I'm going to take my hook with the hook towards me. That's my dogs, if you hear them in the background. I'm going to go under, hook it, pull through. That's chain 1. 1 chain right there. Okay? I'm going to rock my left hand towards me, hook, and pull through, chain 2. Chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, chain 6. Now, the bigger your chains, the looser your work. The smaller your chain, the smaller your work, okay? So as you're practicing, you want to try to be consistent so that way your work looks nice and even. But don't worry if it's not nice and consistent or even when you're learning, because you are learning to do it, okay? Don't expect perfection the first through 10 times that you do it. Give yourself some grace and realize you're learning how to do this for the first time, okay? So again, tail about 8 inches to my right, left hand, and I'm going to chain 20 in real time, okay? Hook, pull through, hook, pull through, hook, pull through, hook, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I find that sometimes when I'm chaining a lot of, like, you can chain sometimes upwards of like 200. So, or maybe you're just doing like 50 chains of something. It's easy for you to lose track of your numbers. So I find if I do them in groups of 4, I keep better track of what I'm doing, how many I've chained. So that's a little trick to keep on track. Okay, so here's the chain again. I'm gonna hook, pull through. 1, 2, and I'm not doing it super tight. You want loose, medium chains to be able to work through, because you're going to be coming back and putting stitches in there. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so 20 chains for me is 6 inches. Okay. It's important for you to keep track of how many you have, because a pattern is going to tell you you need so many chains to begin your work. So if you do a whole bunch of chains and then you're like, oh my gosh, I lost track, don't worry. You can go back and look and say, okay, each of these V's right here is a chain. You can go from the front side, or you can count the bumps on the back. Okay, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, which is correct because I did 20. Okay, or we can go from the front and we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Always keep track of where you are. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so 20 chains. If at any point you felt I was going too fast in this video, don't be afraid to hit the settings button that YouTube provides you, whether or not you're on your TV or you're using a smartphone or your computer. You can go into the settings for this video and you can actually slow this video down. If at any point you feel like I'm going way too slow, you can also speed up this video. Please feel free to re-watch this video as many times as you need to make this at your own pace, okay? But this is all that I'm going to be teaching you today for today's lesson. This is a simple casting on, if you will, chaining. This is the hook, using the hook for the first time, using yarn for possibly the first time, realizing what's comfortable in your hand, how to put the working yarn in your finger so it gives you tension, so that way you have something that gives you control while you're doing these chains and other stitches that you will be learning in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so just allow yourself time to just get used to it. If you have knots and stuff in your yarn, just go ahead and cut it. If you need to go back to the store, you know, save your pennies and get $2 to buy another ball of yarn. Don't think that you have to be perfect the first time that you're doing this. So again, the chains are the foundation of crochet, whether you're working in the round, whether you're working flat, in a line, whatever it is, this is the very beginning, okay? Next week, we will be learning how to do the single crochet, and then we will be learning how to make a washcloth with the single crochet. But you need to have these skills in order to be able to move forward. So this is where we're gonna stop this week. I hope that this was helpful to you. And I can't wait to see you back next week when we do the single crochet and start our first project, the single crochet washcloth. And again, I will have a free pattern provided for that washcloth, so that way you have something that you'll be able to use or gift after you complete your first project. Again, the following week will be the half double crochet. And after the half double crochet, we will be learning the double crochet, which is great. The half double crochet is my favorite, but I love the single crochet and the double crochet. The single crochet is what a lot of amigurumi is made out of. And then following that, once we have our 3 washcloths and those stitches mastered, we will be working on a scarf as our first big project. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that way you know when I am uploading my next crochet video. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.